長官ユナイテッドエンパイア今日は試合があったそして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよみんなブローケンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir? That is awesome. That is awesome. Welcome, everybody, over here on YouTube to the AEW Dynamite review show. This was the go-home show for Full Gear for Dynamite, and man, I actually thought this was a great go-home show. Really good matches here tonight. I thought this was another one of these quality over quantity Dynamites, you know. They're not shoving 100 matches in here, and every match was fucking great. I loved this tonight. Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, wow, we ended tonight on a promo. Once I noticed the main event was going to be Moxley and MJF in the ring, I was actually really happy here. I was like, yes, the rare promo battle for a main event in AEW. I like it. How is Rome muted? Says that you are muted. Hold on. That shouldn't even be possible. It shouldn't even be possible, but hold on. All right, Rome should be audible now, so I do apologize about that.
Jeff, you can't silence me forever.
We have given Rome his voice back. I apologize. So, yeah, this was an excellent Dynamite, excellent go-home show for Full Gear. Sorry about that. But let's go ahead and get started here. We started off with Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Bryan Danielson. Yo, this was a banger, bro. What'd you think of this match?
Man, just a lot of really strong matches, a lot of bangers. It's funny because Juhas is at the movies tonight. A friend bought him a ticket. So I was texting Juhas today, and he was like, Rome, can you kind of give me some play-by-play throughout the show because I'm not watching Dynamite because I'm at the movies, and I'm not going to be able to catch the pod live. I was like, okay. And so I'm texting him about this match, and I'm like, my God, Claudio Castagnoli is fucking killing it in this match. For me, Claudio definitely stood out as the star of the match. And yeah, it was a great opener and just a banger of a match. Just fucking excellent.
Oh, so good. I love how, normally when we have these tag matches, it doesn't start off with the hockey fight where everyone's in the ring just battling it out. But, as soon as the bell rang, all four dudes just started beating the crap out of each other. I actually really enjoyed the way that they started this tag with kind of the way a lot of tag matches finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Man, Taz was hilarious in this in his commentary here tonight. I absolutely love Taz. He's one of our national treasures in AEW. Absolutely love that dude. I love how they focused on Bryan Danielson's eye for the entire match, you know, because he was cut open last week. They basically focused on that cut open area. We had Guevara biting him multiple times. We had Jericho sneaking in with the bat, hitting him in the face with the bat at one point. You know, this was great. This was sports entertainment versus pro wrestling, just like, you know, it is every time we get to JAS versus Blackpool Combat Club. So let's see here. Basically, Sammy put in a lot of work tonight. I feel like they're trying to get Sammy over again. Or not necessarily over, but I feel like they're trying to get him back into the good graces of the crowds to at least, you know, cheer for him when he does stuff rather than, you know, hate his guts. Does it feel like they're trying to do that a little bit?
Sorry, I was reading some news that just came in about Dynamite tonight. What were you saying?
I was saying it feels like they're trying to make Sammy Guevara like get a little bit of his momentum back with the crowds. We've seen him, I think, 3 weeks in a row now, and he's putting in a lot of work in each one of the matches that he's been in. So it feels like they're just trying to get him back into the good graces of the crowd from the, you know, the nuclear heat that he had.
Right. No, I just think that Sammy being Sammy, he still has the heat. Like, again, we've talked about this. I think Sammy is just so talented that like you don't want to like him, and like it doesn't mean you necessarily do like him, but like you feel you Sammy is special because you feel strongly about him no matter what he's doing. You either really like him or you really hate him. And MJF had a really good quote this week. He did an interview. I don't remember the show he did the interview with, but you know he talked about whether he's a babyface or a heel these days, and he says, "I'm MJF. People are going to cheer me or boo me, whatever they want. What matter? Like that's top tier shit. That's Stone Cold John Cena level shit. It's like
Yes.
as long as you're getting that reaction, that's what matters. And that's really the truth. So I don't know. I just think Sammy's very good at what he does, and you're taking notice of that because he's doing his job. He's making you feel something, you know, where you think that they're trying to do something different, where I just think that he's just being Sammy.
That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. So the match really did focus on Danielson and Sammy Guevara. You know, I think they were promoting this match obviously for the pay-per-view here, but it really did focus on those two. I'm wondering if, you know, we're going to have I really do think we're going to have some sort of Guevara turn on Jericho in that match, but Danielson eats a whole bunch of offense from Sammy, but he just hulks through it, puts him in the label lock, and gets him to tap out. Or I'm sorry, actually, no. So he gets Sammy into the label lock, and then we get a cutter off the top rope, a lion salt from Chris Jericho. Danielson and Jericho have a car wreck in the middle of the ring where they kind of do the whole crossbody smashing into each other. For this one here, did it look like they smashed heads to you? Like they both kind of went the same direction and it looked like they collided heads?
I didn't see anything that looked too bad. I mean, that's just the nature of the spot. It looks like they're colliding because they are.
Yeah. Well, usually one guy's head goes one way and the other guy's head goes the other way, so they kind of connect, you know, and it looked a little different here. It looked like they went face to face. But Jericho grabs Floyd the Bat, jumps into the ring, but Claudio gets him into the swing. The crowd was waiting for this all night. The crowd was waiting for that swing. And with the bat in hand, Jericho takes a swing about at least 10 times. Did you count? I only counted about 10 before I lost.
I think I got to 15.
You got to 15. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, Claudio is just crazy. He's so strong. I was gonna say earlier, he the spot where he has Sammy up on the holding him up in the suplex, and he's like dropping his knees. Like I'm just like, what do you like? That's just I can't even fathom.
He's like doing lunges with him in the suplex. That's insane.
Just crazy.
So after the swings, Claudio goes to wrap up the Scorpion Deathlock, and Jericho, being super dizzy from the swing, kind of tries to hit Claudio with the bat. Claudio just grabs it, takes it out of his hand, puts it over his shoulder, and finishes off the Scorpion Deathlock and gets Jericho to tap. I wasn't expecting a Jericho tap in this match. I'm definitely telling you that. I was not expecting that. And we got Miaja in chat. What's up tonight? How you doing tonight, sir? I don't care if Bryan Danielson came to AEW in 2021. He's an original. Claudio too.
You know, it's kind of weird, but I actually do look at Danielson as that as well. Kind of in a sense that like maybe it's just me because I'm just a huge Danielson fan. But when I think of like when AEW started, I do think of guys that really kind of laid the foundation inadvertently. Guys like Danielson and Punk. You know, I mean, like I
Yeah.
look at those two guys as guys that are really important in the DNA of AEW. So I mean, you know, I get where he's coming from, and I don't disagree to an extent.
You know, for me, Danielson has this special place of being. He was the first like really big name to jump ship and come to AEW. You know what I mean? So he almost has like his own special little corner category for me of his specialty or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
All right, next up, we had a quick video package for Moxley versus MJF. Mox calls MJF a child, says that he's stared into the void of death, and, what are you going to do to me? This was decent. Next up, we had a really, really cool video package for Darby Allin and Sting versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. So essentially, they showed a guitar covered in blood. And then we were out in the middle of like a desert on the road, and there was a body bag laying in the road, and we see Sting picking up the body bag and throwing it in his car. The body bag unzips and Darby climbs out covered in blood. And Sting says it's showtime.
You saw you saw the part where he was body surfing in the body bag too, right?
No, I didn't see that.
It happened right before. I guess Darby must have been at like a concert in the past few weeks and filmed a bit.
Oh,
for
okay,
it,
yeah, I saw that. Okay,
he was crowd surfing in a body bag, and they were showing that before he ended up in the desert.
okay, yeah. This was excellent, man. I absolutely love these video packages, and it's nice to see Sting back. Can't wait to see him at Full Gear. We're gonna be there. Oh, so many awesome matches we're gonna see. It's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, so much significance to this pay-per-view. It's a really special one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Next up, we had the Acclaimed with their music video. The Acclaimed make their way to the ring with the traditional Max Caster rap.
There was a segment immediately following Sting and Darby with Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Satnam Singh.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett talks about how when he first faced Sting 20 plus years, however long ago it was, years ago. I think it was like 30 something years ago. He starts talking about that, and he ends the promo by chasing off another stagehand.
Yes, I missed that part. All right, so next up was the Acclaimed music video. Dude, this music video was freaking hilarious. We started off with Captain Insano. I was dying for this. That was excellent. Big Show is awesome. Paul White, whatever you want to call him. This was great. I absolutely loved this music video. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube. I'm certain that they have uploaded it to the AEW page there. This was awesome.
Yeah, it was just super fun. I mean, again, doing the Captain Insano spot was really awesome. Jeff, I gotta ask you real quick. Can you confirm or deny? A little bird named Joe. Let's just say Joe. He told me that Paul White / the Big Show is your favorite wrestler of all time. Is this true?
No, it's not even close.
All right, I'm just going off of what people that have known you forever say.
There's only one person named Joe that has known me forever, and that would be my brother, and he does not watch wrestling.
Anyways, the Captain Insano spot was just amazing. The actors that they brought in to play Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland was just hilarious, and yeah, the rap itself was great. Just a really well shot video. I just love it. It was excellent.
Fantastic. Great way to start off the match between Swerve and Bowens. And a lot of people on Twitter were like, why do they have Swerve wearing a little cat burglar mask? And I'm like, because he's Sneaky Swerve, of course. What do you think? What do you mean? It was so good. The two imposter swerves in the music video were one of my favorite things I've seen all week. So this match, man, this went a little different than I had anticipated. Swerve really kicked Anthony Bowen's ass in this match. Did you is that how you saw this? Like I wasn't sure if I was just kind of focusing on it a little too much, but it really felt like Swerve kicked his ass.
Um, I wouldn't say that. I mean, Swerve definitely got a good amount of offense in. I mean, they're the challengers, and Swerve is a heel. So, I
Yeah.
mean, he's going to be working a little bit more aggressively. I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes. I mean, heels are always a little bit more aggressive than baby faces, most of the time. Um, but I mean, we'll see. It looked like Anthony Bowens injured his shoulder at the end of the match. A little bit of an update from Fightful on that I got right as we were going on the air here. Um, Fightful saying, we got word that Anthony Bowens may have aggravated his shoulder tonight during the match with Swerve Strickland. However, we can't say for certain if it is legit or if it's being worked into a story.
Ah. Yeah, I didn't think it looked like a real injury. I thought it was part of the whole thing where he put his arm between his legs and did like that little twisting snap thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning more towards it being a work. I mean, the thing about that they've done with Bowens and the Acclaimed since they've won the belts is, I mean, not every single match, but Bowens has done this before where he's kind of gotten hurt and then he's selling it throughout the match with Max kind of leaning in there and supporting him. Um, so I mean, we'll see what happens. I think he'll be fine. I don't think it'll be anything too serious.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. So in this match, there was a spot where Swerve tossed Bowens into the crowd. You don't see that too often, where he like literally landed in some people's laps. That was a pretty good spot there. When we came back from a commercial, Bowen's mouth was all bloodied up. He, you could see the blood inside his mouth, and Swerve just proceeded to absolutely destroy him for the end of this match here. Put his arm between his legs and kind of did this standing, twisting arm break thing. Hit his finisher and got the 1, 2, 3. Like I said, it felt a lot like Swerve controlled this match. So like you said, he played the heel. It makes sense. I do think that they are working this into the storyline for the injury to give some doubt about the match on at Full Gear. So, but we'll see. I hope he didn't really aggravate that injury. That would suck.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be okay. I'm not super concerned about it.
Yeah, no worries. All right, next up, we had a video package for Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose. This was a great video package. I hope this turns out to be a great match. It has all the makings of being a really good match. Jade needs somebody that can, go toe to toe with her in the strength or power department, and I think Nyla is one of the people that can do that. So let's see what happens. I hope they have a really good match. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think this is. Look, man. I mean, I'm gonna say it later, and I said it last week. I think that right now, and whatever you want to say, I think Tony Khan legitimately needs you to be given credit because we're sitting here going the Full Gear with 3 women's matches on the card. All of them have had legitimately very good builds in
Yeah,
different ways. And please, like somebody, and I'm not even saying this is an AEW guy, like WWE, please, and I'm not talking about Evolution because that doesn't count. When's the last time we had there was a wrestling pay-per-view in North America where there was 3 well-built marquee women's matches on the card? That's not me saying that there definitely isn't. Just prove me wrong.
yeah,
Um, but and again, I don't count Evolution because that was a clout thing. That was just like, hey, let's throw all our women onto a card and just make it work. Like
yeah.
I'm talking like as your day to day, every day, you're just booking your show. Like, has there any other point in any company, not just including AEW, like where we have 3 really strong builds in 3 different ways that I'm excited for each of the 3 matches.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Miaja does have a point with this Jade and Nyla build. There was a couple of cringy moments, like the moment where Nyla was kind of commenting on Jade's match. That definitely looked better on paper than it did when they actually pulled it off. I can see why they did it because when you think about it, like have Jade come out there, do commentary on the match, sounded like it was going to be good. It just didn't hit well, and it was definitely
My counter argument to that is that, and this is as someone who follows Nyla Rose on Twitter.
yeah,
That is Nyla Rose's style. She was going for cringe. I promise you. That was what she was going for. If you thought it was cringy, if you thought it was a little out there, that's what she was going for. Like I promise you. Like
I got you.
like again, like if it was something where it was cringy, like it just the way that it was booked and the way it was done throughout all these weeks where they didn't really change anything. They just kept going with it. Like you could tell that's what they're going for.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see what you're saying.
They literally had her stand up on the stage during her match, yelling, "Nyla." Did they do that when she wrestled Marina Shafir? She was like Nyla, and they were like holding up signs and stuff.
She was like, she's saying Jade. She was like Jade.
Oh, Jade. I'm
Jade.
sorry.
Yeah,
Jade.
yeah, but I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
It was funny, but it went a little too long, and it overshadowed the match. You know what I mean? Like, there was just a moment of it that was like, oh, okay. But other than that, everything's been great. Like, we got 3 women's matches that are looking fantastic coming up at this pay-per-view. So.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, and I understand if the Nyla Jade storyline isn't really everybody's cup of tea. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But I mean, I think that they've done a great job moving the story along, and maybe they spread it out a little bit so that way they could be on TV on a regular basis, but still do something different each week. And I think that that's an important thing to think about. It's not just all right. Let's have Jade wrestle Marina. And then the next week, let's have Jade wrestle team with someone, one of the baddies, and wrestle Marina and Nyla. And then the next week, let's have Jade wrestle Marina again. And then next week, it's Nyla wrestling one of the baddies again. Like no, like they're just doing something different with it. So I mean, I appreciate it.
All right, next up we had Tony Schiavone in-ring promo with Samoa Joe, and this was one of the rare times where Tony Schiavone didn't ask a question and then ninja his way out of the ring. He actually stayed in the ring and had a conversation with Samoa Joe for a little bit here. And I gotta say, this was one of the first times that I was able to get a really good look at that Ring of Honor television title belt. That thing's gorgeous. And it has a really different look than the AEW belts. I actually really, really like that belt.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous belt, man. Those Ring of Honor belts, they have a nice look to them. It's the red. The red really makes it pop.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? All right, so Tony Schiavone asks Samoa Joe, hey, why did you attack Wardlow, essentially? You basically ended War Joe. I thought you guys had a good thing going. And Samoa Joe says, it's kind of obvious. He was out here saying, running his mouth, saying he was going to take things that belonged to me. So, he said, and he forgot about the most dangerous man in the room. And in the midst of this, Powerhouse Hobbs music hits and he shows up. At this point, Tony Schiavone is gone. But as Powerhouse makes his way to the ring, we also get a Wardlow attack from behind on Samoa Joe. Powerhouse Hobbs makes his way into the ring, and we get a little bit of a scuffle working, and all of a sudden, the entire locker room and all the security guards come out to break up the fight. Half the security guards in the locker room take away Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe, and we're left in the ring with basically the Dark Order, some security guards, and Wardlow. Wardlow absolutely annihilates the security guards like he always does. And the Dark Order stand there like, we're good. We're good. We're all good. Go right ahead, Mr. Wardlow. I got to ask you, because you are, usually pretty critical of the Dark Order here. What did you think of them being involved in that little spot there?
So, like, it's not a super big deal. It's not.
Okay.
But the irony is not lost on me that, of course, the Dark Order couldn't even do this right. Like, because, like, here's the thing. So, Tony Khan, this is in storyline. So, Tony Khan or somebody backstage knew that the security guards were not going to be able to separate these 3 guys, these 3 beefy boys, right? And so Tony Khan or whoever sends the locker room out there to separate them because those are the wrestlers. They send the wrestlers out there. It's a thing that you do when you have these kinds of interactions. You send the wrestlers out there as well because they are above the security guards in terms of toughness. Great job. So tell me why. Like it's just kind of funny, but it's also kind of like, of course the Dark Order couldn't do this right. So you have like Tony Nese, Josh Woods, and someone else. They get Joe out, and then like Butcher Blade and someone else get Hobbs out, or
Yeah.
vice versa. And so like of course the Dark Order, like they're just like, yeah, go ahead. Like, okay. It was funny. And like it wasn't, I'm not upset about it. It doesn't bother me. But the irony is there that the Dark Order could not even do this right in storyline.
It was great.
Yeah.
So when the Dark Order back off and say go right ahead, Mr. Wardlow, while everybody else is outside the ring, we must have had like 15 guys out there, security and random guys from the locker room. Wardlow does a diving front flip over the ropes and onto the giant crowd on the outside, and the crowd goes wild. I love Wardlow when he's doing these high flying things and stuff like that. It's really cool to see a big guy like him, able to move like that. All right. Next up, we had Britt Baker backstage promo, and dude, did this hit you as much as it hit me?
Man, Jeff, just end the podcast. No, man, this was so good. This was a very real promo from Britt. You could tell, and again, like they did it last week, and they're doing it again this week. They just let Britt go off and do her and be real, and they had, Britt's told Saraya that like, I respect you for everything you've done. I respect that you were able to beat your injury. I respect that you were able to beat your addiction. I respect all the stuff you overcame. And it's truly a special moment for you. However, I've been here since day one. I went from being a rookie who was just happy to be here to become the face of the division. She's talking about how she wrestled through, like she said, Saraya, you talk about wrestling in Madison Square Garden and all these places. Do you know where I wrestled? I wrestled at Jacksonville at Daly's place every night, like every week. And it's just, man, wrench in the plans, Jeff. Wrench in the plans, because my God, I cannot look at Britt Baker and say that Britt Baker is a heel after this promo. I can't do it. I can't sit here and say that, like, all right, Jamie's going to win the world title and we're going to get a heel Britt versus a face Jamie. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that can be in the cards, because, she says, I'm the heart and the soul and the pulse of AEW. And this was just an excellent promo. It was super real. You could tell that she was really speaking from the heart and saying things that she really felt very strongly about. And, this feud has evolved in a very interesting and awesome way where, like, we're beyond the point of they hate each other. This is at the point of, I respect you and I appreciate what you are and what you've done, but I'm better and I'm going to show you that I'm better than you. And I just think that that's fantastic. Like the follow-up from last week to this week, where you just have them just, again, it's not even at this point like a shitting on each other promo battle. Like, I thought that was what this week was going to be. I thought it was going to be, because we knew that both of them were going to have promos. It was going to be a rebuttal where they both kind of crapped on each other a little bit more. We already have a great build for the pay-per-view. We'll roll right into Saturday. And then they didn't do that. They went above and beyond. They let both of them, more so Britt. I thought Britt won the night in terms of who had the better promo. Not that Saraya's was bad necessarily. But, yeah, you could just tell when Britt was talking, like, very, like, the conviction was there, and you could tell that that was the real Britt Baker speaking tonight.
Yeah, and there was one part where, like you had already said it, but when she said, I've never wrestled at Madison Square Garden, but you know where I have wrestled? And my brain immediately was like, where's she talking about? What's she going to say? You know what I mean? And when she said Daly's place, dude, that got me, bro. Like, I was like, oh man, I was like, and you could see she was actually, like, you could hear it in her voice. She was kind of fighting back some tears. And dude, it got me. I got a little emotional there. My eyes like watered up a little bit. I was like, man, that was one of the best answers that I've ever, like, for my brain asking that question of like, where is she going to say, where is she talking about? And to say Daly's place, just that hit me right here, man. It was great.
Yeah, again, it's a real special promo in a really special feud, and and Meduja said it best. It looked like a babyface promo to them, and
Yeah, it
I
did.
agree. It's just I'm sitting here after the show, and I'm just like, man, that's a face promo. I'm not saying Saraya is a heel necessarily, but that was a babyface promo if I ever saw one. So
Yeah, I agree actually. All right, next up, my match of the night was Top Flight and AR Fox versus the Death Triangle. Darius Martin's brother, I'm sorry, Darius Martin has returned, Dante Martin's brother. He returned after a nasty car crash, I think over a year ago. Almost didn't make it from this car crash, but he has returned, and he started off this match with Ray Fenix, and man, he looked great. Him and Ray Fenix looked incredible to start this off. Um, Dude, the Death Triangle's entrance, that was like a pay-per-view entrance, man. That was incredible. Did you think that was like a pay-per-view style entrance there?
I mean, yeah, I really liked that. I loved that. I thought it was awesome. That's generally the entrance they've been doing, though, wasn't it?
Maybe, but just the way that like they kind of lit all three of them up with a different colored spotlight at different minutes. Maybe they have done that, but it just felt really, really cool here on the Go Home show. One of my favorite entrances in wrestling right now. And Miyaja just said it in chat as well. I did not know who Fox. I did not know who AR Fox was, but holy crap, was I impressed with him tonight. This dude was amazing. Um, I really need to see him on screen speaking. I want to know who he is. I want to know what his character is. You know what I mean? I want to know more about this guy because his wrestling was top notch.
Yeah, I mean, he's excellent. He's very good. My most of my notes on this match are just saying how great AR Fox was.
Seriously.
I would sign him.
Oh, absolutely. I hope we
Uh,
see a graphic or at least hear
Yeah, I mean,
he's
so he
signed.
wrestled on Dark and he was really good this past yesterday on Tuesday. Or no, it was Elevation. He wrestled on Monday on Elevation. And yeah, he's just phenomenal. He's really good. Quick little note on Darius Martin. Fightful got some little backstage information. Darius Martin's return came much sooner than many expected in AEW. Many in the
Wow.
company thought he was going to be out until early 2023. So he came back
Wow.
way ahead of schedule. Well, a few months ahead of schedule.
All right. Let's ease him back in then just to make sure. But yeah, that's excellent.
But yeah, I just thought that this was an excellent match. Just real banger again. I was texting Juhas and just talking to him and just being like, man, this is excellent. This is an excellent match. Just I stopped taking notes for this match because it was just every spot was just like, that's noteworthy. That's noteworthy. That's noteworthy. I was like, I need to watch
Dude.
the match and not just be writing notes the whole time.
Dude, there was one part in this match where Top Flight, the brothers, they grabbed Pac from laying in the corner. They picked him up and launched him up into the air. And AR Fox hit a diamond cutter while he was falling out of the air. That was one of the coolest trios moves I have ever seen. That needs to be their finish. That was incredible. It was so cool.
Yeah, man. It's just excellent match. Just so good.
Yeah. And like you said, most of my notes are just AR Fox is amazing. Who is this guy? I need to hear him on the mic. I want to know more about this dude. This dude hit a flip to the outside, immediately gets back into the ring, hits a 450 splash, a sit down Spanish fly off the top rope. And then he eats a fear factor from Penta and Fenix. We get a black arrow from Pac. 1, 2, 3. AR Fox does take the pin, but my goodness, man, this guy put on an absolute show. If you've never seen him like we have, he absolutely impressed me. I give him a freaking 10 out of 10 on his performance tonight. I'm probably going to go research a couple of his matches in the indies, but if Warzone 2 wasn't out, of course, you know what I mean? But I'm sure sometime I'll be watching some of his stuff.
Well, so Jeff, I'm going to do a little bit of the work for you. I just so happen to have just looked him up. it's a relatively simple thing to do for those that complain about who is this guy and on a wrestling show.
Yeah,
The
right.
internet is an incredible thing. So let's see.
Question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you looked him up, how long did it take you?
I mean, I didn't count, but I would say less than 10 seconds.
So all these people that type into Twitter that are like, "Who is this guy?" It took you longer to tweet that than it would have to go look up who he was.
Oh, you know what the problem is? They didn't put who he was in a fucking AR code or QR code. That's
Yeah.
the problem. That's what they need to do. Somebody get Tony Khan on the line right now. Call him. Just tell him, like, look, man, QR codes are the way of the future. You put that shit, you just slap that shit fucking back here, fixes all your
Done.
problems.
Game over. Yeah.
Game over. Anyways, a little quick thing on AR Fox. He actually grew up in Connecticut, and I think they said it on TV about 15 minutes from his home. Started out doing backyard wrestling. Early career, 2007 to 2010. He was actually training in WWE's Florida Championship Wrestling developmental territory. In 2010, he went to CZW, so he's a tough guy. 2010 to 2014, he was there. 2010 to 2015, he was working with Dragon Gate and Evolve. I think someone on Twitter said he actually did work with Swerve Strickland in Lucha Underground, which it says here he was in Lucha Underground from 2016 to 2018. I could be wrong on that last thing, in terms of working with Swerve. Don't quote me on that, but I think I saw someone say that on Twitter. And yeah, so I mean, it looks like he's done some other work, 2010 to present. He's actually faced Jon Moxley before for the Full Impact Pro World Heavyweight Championship, in which case Mox beat him. He was also a challenger for the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship in 2011. Pretty decent little resume he's got going here. He's teamed up with the Inner City Machine Guns, where he got beat by Brian Cage, Kevin Steen, and Michael Elgin. Did some work for West Side Extreme Wrestling in 2013.
Okay.
Did some Ring of Honor work in 2015. Yeah. So he did some GFW, Global Force Wrestling. Shout out to Jeff Jarrett.
That's right.
So yeah, he's done a lot of work.
All right, not bad. But he put on a great show tonight. He took the pin. He took he took the Fear Factor and the Black Arrow back to back. Pac gets the pin. Pac gets on the mic and says, "Do you people think that we are stupid? We've seen the video packages," and he's referring to the Elite video packages. And he says, if you think you're going to make your triumphant return at Full Gear and defeat us, that's ridiculous. And then we hear the tick-tock of the clock for Full Gear. And we see their opponents for Full Gear on the Jumbotron as the Elite. So it is confirmed, Death Triangle versus the Elite at Full Gear, and we will be there. So happy right now.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I have something on Reddit. I mean, no,
you're good.
Go ahead.
Pac goes on to say that, you think that you've been hunting us, but we've been waiting for you. That was a really, really good line. I really liked this whole thing right here. The only thing I would criticize here is they kind of just like threw the video package up on the Jumbotron of like the Elite versus Death Triangle. There it is. And I'm like, man, couldn't we get them to like their music play?
No, that
or
was
something
perfect.
like, I don't know, not actually show up, but I don't know.
Oh, hold on,
It
Jeff.
just felt awkward to just see it on the Jumbotron like that.
So, Jeff, I'm currently watching Swerve Strickland and AR Fox, and that's brutal.
Put that in Twitter or put that in Discord, please.
I don't know if you want to see this. Swerve Strickland did a Storm Cradle driver over a bed of glass, and there's
I'm
blood
cool with
everywhere.
glass. It's thumbtacks, I can't do.
Okay, well then, yeah, I'll put this.
If you guys aren't aware, thumbtacks make me fucking cringe. You woke up your neighbor screaming, seeing this Fox versus Swerve. All right, so this was incredible. I can't wait to see the Elite versus the Death Triangle. This is going to be absolutely insane. I haven't seen the Young Bucks or Kenny in a couple of months.
So I mean, look, man. So I was looking up some AR Fox stuff while you were
Yeah,
talking.
you're good. You're good.
I'm so excited for the Elite to be back. I thought that the way they did this was just so perfect. Um, and man, I'm so fucking ready for a super kick party. Let me tell you, a little super kick fiesta.
party.
Yeah, this just it's awesome that they're going to be back, and we're going to be there to see them return.
Hell yeah. All right, next up, we had a quick promo backstage with Ricky Starks on Lance Archer. And he's like, you may have gotten a one-up on me last week, and I wasn't medically cleared to compete on Dynamite, but on Rampage, the absolute truth is I'm going to beat you. And I was just like, okay.
So, did you realize what they're doing here?
I didn't actually, nothing clicked, so explain what's going on.
Ricky Starks, assuming that he wins, is going to be wrestling 3 matches over the course of about 24 hours.
Why is that? Okay, so it goes Friday.
Because the first round matchup of the tournament in that bracket is Ricky Starks versus Lance Archer. Keep in mind that winner of that match faces Brian Cage before the finals of the tournament at Full Gear.
So what are they gonna do? 2 matches on Rampage? Or
I think so, and I think that's the story. I think that like Ricky Stark's been on fire, and I think this is how you build a baby face up, man. You're gonna have him run a gauntlet over the week on Friday night and Saturday night, where it's like first he has to beat Lance Archer, and then he's gonna have to beat Brian Cage, and then he's gonna have to beat Ethan Page.
I think they might do 2 at Full Gear. They might give him a match in the 0 hour.
Maybe I could see that them doing that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they do have a lot announced for Rampage, so you might be right. But regardless, at some point they're going to have to do the 3 matches because
you're right.
It's a tournament.
Wow.
And they made it clear that the doctors would not clear him for tonight.
Yeah, I did catch that. Huh.
So yeah,
okay.
Ricky Starks is gonna have to run the gauntlet this weekend, Friday night and Saturday night. In the span of 24 hours, he's gonna have to wrestle 3 different guys.
Wow, that's a good point.
That's how you fucking make a baby face.
Let's go, Ricky Starks, baby.
Coach right now is just fucking like Coach is freaking out. Coach is like watching in the future, and he's like losing his goddamn mind right now.
I was gonna say, Coach is probably knee deep in Warzone right now.
Yeah, probably, but he'll be watching Ricky Starks wrestle 3 matches this weekend for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be incredible. I'm sure Coach will be very happy about that. All right, next up, we had Ethan Page making his way to the ring, and he cut a quick promo on the crowd. Called him a bunch of simple-ass civilians. I like that. And we got Ethan Page versus my new favorite wrestler right now, Bandito. This dude looks incredible. This sombrero and black and gold gear he had was so awesome. I don't think I've ever liked anyone's gear more than I enjoyed Bandito's gear tonight. Did you notice it said AEW on his pants? This dude loves being here. This dude, I love this guy. He was incredible. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Bandito is just incredible, like you said. I mean, you said it better. You said it best. There's nothing more like an add to it. The dude's killing it, and he's happy to be here and happy he's here. He's doing great work. Could you imagine signing Bandito and being like, all right, so what we're gonna do? All right, pal, we're gonna send you down to developmental for like a year. Make sure you can do what you can do.
Could you imagine the look on his face being like, what am I developing?
Like, watch them be like, look, man, you don't really speak English, so we're gonna take the mask off of you, and we're gonna put you with Hit Row or something like that,
Dude, that's just a joke.
Oh, you know what? They're gonna do a thing where Miz is gonna pay him to like, I don't know, Miz is gonna pay him to beat Miz. There you go.
Yeah, Miz is gonna pay him to rob him every day.
Yeah,
gonna
and it's gonna
rob
be
him
like,
all the
look, you're a
time.
bandit. So
Yeah.
you're gonna rob me every day, and I'll give you the money for free.
You're gonna show up on horseback and you're gonna hold the Miz up and steal his money all the time.
This is like, I played Red Dead Redemption. It seemed pretty cool. Can you do that for me?
Oh jeez. But oh my god, this match was incredible. Ethan Page and Bandito had absolute banger. Stokely Hathaway tried getting involved. He grabbed onto Bandito's foot here and there. Dude, Bandito did a moonsault off the actual ring post to the outside. One of the best moonsaults I've ever seen. He reversed an Avalanche Ego's Edge into a Hurricane Rana. That was incredible. Hits a monster frog splash, Eddie Guerrero style, for 2.99999999. But eventually Ethan Page does get the upper hand. Up on the top ropes, he hits Bandito with a pretty nasty body slam off the top rope. I don't think I've ever seen somebody just do like the basic body slam from the top rope like that, but it looked great. He hits the Ego's Edge, gets the 1-2-3 on Bandito, and Ethan Page moves on. He's in the finals now, correct? On his side of the bracket?
Correct. He is in the finals this Saturday at Full Gear.
Okay. But amazing showing by Bandito. Excellent signing from Tony Khan. This guy is going to be a superstar. I can't wait to see this dude with some sort of gold around his waist. Can't wait.
Yeah, man. Meduja in the chat saying he just saw the cover art for the Acclaimed new music video. It's a reference to Eminem's diss track to MGK. Yeah, that was really awesome. I saw Platinum Max tweet that earlier before the show started tonight, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I think that's the Rap Devil reference.
No, it's Kill Shot.
Oh, yeah, Kill Shot's the response to Rap Devil. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we had Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy Jack Perry video package for their cage match coming up at Full Gear. This did what it needed to do. I can't say I'm like excited for the match between these two, but I've never seen a cage match before, so that's making me super excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus before. I'm just kind of like, all right, they need to do something different to make me really enjoy this. And it's going to be a cage match, which I've never seen live. So, okay.
See, I think that's crazy. I'm really excited for this match. I think this feud has been really good. And yeah, I mean, just the blood feud going between Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. The only gripe I have with the rivalry in general is that they did that fake out where like Luchasaurus went back to Jack Perry and then turned on him again.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about the rivalry in general that I wasn't really a fan of. But the fighting that these two have done, the matches they've had, and just Jack getting involved in his matches and vice versa, it's all been excellent. So I mean, it's a meaningful match, and I'm really excited. Like you said, I mean, I've never seen a live steel cage match, and I'm excited for it. And just real quick, I really love AEW's rules in a steel cage. It's not about escaping. Because why would you want to escape? You want to beat your opponent. That's the whole point.
Yeah, you don't reward escape. That's stupid.
All right, so here's my thing, right? Because if they did it that way, here's what you would do. You would have Jack Perry, right? Actually, let's do Luchasaurus, right? So if escaping the cage is a rule, is how you win. This is how I'd book it. I would have Luchasaurus go to climb out. He's going over the cage, and because even though the door's there, why would you make it easy on yourself? Climb up and over, right? So as Luchasaurus is like sitting on top of the cage and he looks down to start climbing down, he's climbing down. He just needs to fall, and he looks down, and there is Christian Cage, and he just kind of slides horizontally out from under the ring, and he's staring up at Luchasaurus, and he's just fucking staring at him. And Luchasaurus is like, "Oh shit, that's my guy. Fuck, I better get back in the ring." You know what I mean? And then you have Jack Perry win. That's how I would book it.
Dude, oh man.
All I'm asking
I've never understood rewarding
Jeff,
somebody for climbing over the top out of the cage. You're literally running away from your opponent. So it's the same to me like running away from the ring and getting counted out. Like, I don't enjoy the climbing out of the cage victory. I understand the door one. Like if you've got your opponent knocked out and you go over to the door and you say to the ref, "Yo, open the door, he's done." That's completely different to me than climbing out of the cage and essentially running away from your opponent.
Jeff, all I've ever asked is somebody please just help make sense of the madness. That's all I've ever asked for.
There's nothing to make sense of other than, back when they first did it, that's what the rules were, so why change it now? It's to make it make sense, that's why.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Here we go again. I'm just going to do it. WWE's version of War Games is a joke. It's dumb. There is, like, number one, right? The lack of a roof on the cage. That's dumb. Number two, that match should not end in a pinfall. That is a type of match that should end with somebody passing out or submitting. To do it in a pinfall, I think that's terrible. That's just me. Also, I would not do War Games during Survivor Series because then you don't do. Are they going to do the traditional Survivor Series matches? Because my big thing is like Survivor Series has been terrible for a long time because the whole point of Survivor Series, like, used to be do these matches, these elimination matches, these huge matches. And that's the other thing, because and that's why the pinfall thing with War Games is stupid, because it's not even an elimination match. It'd be one thing if you had to eliminate the entire other team. No, one pinfall ends it. Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, that's weird. It should be an elimination type thing.
Well, I don't think it should be an elimination. I just like the submission, the tap out / submission / passing out rule. I think that's the way to do it. I think, like, usually a War Games, like, the way AEW books these blood and guts matches is they build these up to the point where, like, it feels warranted. And this is something WWE's done a really poor job of, obviously, over the past 20 years, is they take these matches, these gimmick matches that are supposed to mean something, and they just do them for the sake of doing them. Like, Hell in a Cell, right? Hell in a Cell hasn't meant a goddamn thing in 10 years. But you know what? They have like 3 Hell in a Cell matches on one night every single year because fuck it, why not? And for me, it's like that. It's like, well, you're doing this War Games match, and like you're okay with it ending on like a little pinfall. I don't know. It just seems kind of. It just doesn't seem right.
It is a little odd.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on track here. Next up, we had Renee Paquette backstage with Saraya. She's kind of doing a little bit of a rebuttal to Britt Baker here.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I do want to be here. I chose to be here so I could face the best, and you are the best, Britt. This kind of felt like a little bit of an apology for the way that some of the things came out last week in her promo of being like, you don't know what it's like. You don't know how to do this. You know what I mean? Some people kind of didn't like the way it sounded because Britt's, their ex-champion. So this kind of felt like it was a little bit of an apology, but, I don't know.
I didn't take it that way. I don't think Saraya the character should apologize for anything she said. But I just think that, again, tonight was about the two of them saying, you know what, like, last week we laid everything out. At the end of the day, we're both two fierce, tough competitors who want to be the best, who think we are the best, and we're going to lay our respect aside that we obviously have for each other. We're going to acknowledge each other as very talented, but it's going to be a fight to see who is better. And that's how I took tonight. I definitely didn't take it as her apologizing per se. I don't think she was apologizing. Again, it's just like Britt's promo. Again, I thought Britt's promo was a little bit better, but I think that this was just them both laying out the cards on the table and saying, I respect you, but I'm beating you on Saturday.
Yeah, I got you. It's
smart booking. Make your opponent seem extremely powerful, and not powerful, but over. Put your opponent over, so that way when you beat them, you're even more over. That's a really smart way of doing booking.
All right. Next up, we had a wild promo kind of out of nowhere for Eddie Kingston facing Jun Akiyama. This is a big time star from New Japan, or not New Japan. I'm sorry, DDT Wrestling with Takashita. Um, all I wrote down was, "Whoa!" I was not expecting this. I love seeing Eddie Kingston versus these Japan guys. What did
Jeff,
they announce this last week and I missed it or something?
Jeff, they announced this like last week. What are you doing? What are you
I
talking
must have
about?
missed it.
They announced it like twice. We talked about it here on the show.
Must have, yeah, must have just went right over my head or something. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to see Takashita here at all. Remember I was asking where's Takashita been? So
Well, it's Takeshita.
Takashita,
And secondly, it's a shame they say that the mind is the first thing that goes, and
true,
boy,
very
boy, oh
true.
boy, boy, oh boy, scary, scary times.
I
And
was
yes,
being
the dude
promoted
also
on
said it was
Twitter.
being promoted on Twitter. It's been pretty much everywhere. Yeah, I don't know what Jeff's been doing,
All right,
but
yeah, I must have just ignored it, I guess.
Jeff must have just like his subconscious just turned it off. Like it's just like no,
Somehow, I
you're
guess.
not
I
allowed
love
to
Eddie
know this is
Kingston
a
and I
thing.
love Takeshita, so I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how either. We literally talked last week on the show where I was like, "This
I
is
have to
fucking
go back
awesome.
and watch the
Takeshi's
pod and
coming
be
back."
like,
You were like, "Yeah, that was awesome."
I got to see if I was doing something. I was probably typing something.
I
All
don't know.
right. Well, next up we had Tony Storm versus Anna JAS. I loved this match. We had Taz and Tony Schiavone kind of going at it on commentary during this match. This was excellent. Anna J looks great. Whatever she's been doing, whatever training she's been doing, it's definitely paying off. She's looking better and better in the ring. You know, I feel like this is a growing trend in the women's division for some of the what do I call? I guess mid card girls. They're all getting better and better every time they come out. Doesn't this just seem like a growing trend?
I mean, Jeff, do you want me to be a broken record?
Right? I know.
Look, man, the women's division's on fire right now. You have 3 really strong pay-per-view matches going into Full Gear. Almost every woman on the card is doing something meaningful. We're going to see Athena on Rampage this Friday, continuing this storyline she's been doing on Dark the last few weeks. Like, I don't know, everyone's doing something, something somewhere on the show, and it's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see the growth in the talent. I love it. So there was a move in this match that Anna Jay did to Tony Storm on the outside. So first she smashes her into the steps, and then Jade's finisher, the Jaded. She
Yeah.
did essentially the Jaded, but in reverse to where Tony Storm was on her back instead of in the front. And she caused Tony Storm to do a face plant onto the ground. I don't know what that was called, but I have never seen that before, and it looked nasty, especially on the outside. That was a really, really cool move. I don't know who taught Anna Jay that, but it was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Very cool move.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tony Storm, she hits a series of hip attacks throughout the match here. Puts Anna Jay into the Texas Cloverleaf and gets the tap out. I don't think anybody expected Tony Storm to lose this match. Immediately afterwards, Jamie Hayter's music hits and she comes to the ring along with Britt and Rebel. She confronts Tony in the ring. They kind of yell at each other face to face for a while, but no physicality here. This was a great segment. The women's division, like you just said, is on fire, man. Just all these girls, the growth is obvious. You can see them getting better. 3 matches coming up at Full Gear. It's gonna be great.
Absolutely.
Next up, I just wanted to throw this in here, was an awesome graphic for AEW going to London in 2023. I really liked the the AEW logo with the Union Jack flag there. So that's awesome for our friends out in the UK. Hopefully you guys can make it to a show.
Yeah, they also
And
are
next up,
doing. They
go
also
ahead.
announced some touring that they're doing in California in general. They said they're doing their first shows in San Francisco in February.
Nice.
I think I don't want to say it's directly thanks to Jeff Jarrett or like right off the bat, but they're touring the West Coast in 2023. Like they're going from Washington State through California, doing a few weeks straight of some Cali shows. Like that's a great idea. And again, like the Jeff Jarrett signing this year possibly could be backstage one of the biggest signings for AEW probably ever. If Jeff Jarrett can really get this touring calendar under control and can really have them moving across the country and doing these shows out of the United States, I would honestly try to do. This might be a bit much, but I would try to do 2, maybe 3 international shows a year. To be honest, I would say keep going to Canada once a year, maybe even more than once a year. You start doing the London show and maybe just try to do something a little different. You know, it was funny because I was watching a little bit of NFL this past Sunday, and they had the first game in Germany where they had the Bucks win their game in Germany, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if AEW did a show in Germany, or like, you know what I mean, like just something like that, like just obviously you got to do the UK first, but that would be really cool someday in the future to see AEW do a show somewhere like Germany. Or
it'd be nice to just see him do a nice tour all the way through the UK. That'd be sweet. And you know, our boy Miaja is down in Brazil. I think they would like if it came to Brazil as well. That would be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's do some Mexico shows, some South America shows. Like, let's get creative, man. Like, you have so much talent that would that would thrive in those markets. I mean, like, just being completely realistic and honest. I mean, you got Bandito, you got the Lucha Bros. Like, you have that talent there that, like, those guys are going to do huge in those markets. So, I mean, like, I don't see why you wouldn't. Like, do what you did in Canada. Like, have all your Canadian guys, you know, be focal points of your show when you go there, because it's really awesome for those guys. Do the same thing down south.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next up we had Jon Moxley and William Regal make their way to the ring for our main event. Like we were saying at the top of the show here, we finally had a promo battle, if that's what you want to call it, for the main event to an AEW Dynamite. It has been a little while. You know, I wrote down here sports entertainment at its finest for the main event. Would you agree with that statement?
Your statement was sports entertainment at its finest?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, the promo battle, that's definitely sports entertainment, and this was a freaking awesome one.
See, Jeff, here's the thing, right? You know, you do that a lot where you put promos in this really ugly banner, and I don't like that you do that, because promo work is vital to pro wrestling.
Okay.
It is, and it's all pro wrestling. Like, look, man, and you know me, I'm a promo guy. I've said it a lot of times here. For me, like, and it's a minority. Obviously, I enjoy the wrestling, and an excellent wrestling match is what I'm here for, because it's all about the build up. It's all about the story being told. But, like, man, a fucking great promo can just do so much. And, you know, tonight, MJF stole the show from Mox.
Oh, yeah.
Thought Mox was great. Slipped up a few times, but it is what it is. They're live. It happens. But, man, MJF was just phenomenal tonight. But, again, I thought Mox was great, too. You know, he talks about who he is. Says he loves to fight. Says he's sick in the head. And, you know, he's like, there's something wrong with me. You know, let's not make this seem like I'm this great guy. Like, I'm fucked up.
He's like, it's not a good thing that I love fighting everyone and I love pain. He's like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, you know, and he talked about how he studied MJF. He basically says MJF has only won one match in 6 months. You know, he took a vacation this summer because he did some Brian Pillman shit, and then he came back, and Mox says, you were handed a poker chip after the worst ending to a ladder match I've ever seen, which I thought that was really funny. He thinks MJF is just some insecure kid, and Mox challenges MJF to show him something. He's like, show me what you are. Show me something. At which case, Stokely and the Firm come out and attack Mox. MJF comes out, clears out the entire Firm, and just, yeah, he makes quick work of them. And then we get MJF on the mic. And MJF, a student of the best in the world. It has to be said, because this man, did you pick up on the rhythm and the rhyming of CM Punk in this promo?
Oh, he immediately was like, John, while you lay there, hopefully in a lot of as much pain as possible. I was like, yes,
that's it, man. And that's how you know, like, and that's why MJF is just so. Obviously, it's just he's talented. Actually, I'm going to stop there because I don't want to make it seem like he's amazing because he idolized CM Punk and Bryan Danielson growing up. Obviously, those being your inspirations are a huge thing, but it's just to have MJF come out there and take from his idol and just use that CM Punk stuff, including the devil line. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing people he does not exist. And he's still just saying it out in the open, which means like there has to be a swerve ending coming on Saturday. I don't think this is going to be a clean finish. But just man, he opens the promo talking about as you lay there uncomfortably, and of course John Moxley is John, so that worked out perfectly. He does tweak it a little bit where he says, it's not because I like you, because I don't like you. Whereas Punk back then said, I do like you, John Cena. I like you a lot. But so I just thought this was phenomenal. It was just great. MJF said his goal is to be the best, and he does such a great job putting himself over, puts over the AEW World Championship. He's like, the AEW World Champion is the best wrestler on God's green earth, and my goal is to be the best wrestler. So that's why that title is mine. I need that title more than food, water, and oxygen. Just the conviction, so man. And Maju just saying, have you guys seen what MJF said after the show ended? I did not. What did he say? Let me know.
I have it right here. One sec.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, Mox says that on Saturday, he responds, he says on Saturday, the training wheels come off.
The training wheels come off. Let me play this real quick here. Let me see if I got my volume up. There we go. Volume.
Hopefully I get to hear it. I'm going to mute my mic. So you can listen to it on stream.
Why is it not playing?
I don't know. Don't play it.
A lot of bullshit has gone on. A lot of bullshit. We all know it. We all know it. However, let me make something crystal clear. Me and you, we've been at odds once or twice. I'm not going to stand here and pretend that's not the case. But there's something I take issue with that I've been seeing lately. Everybody make some noise if you're a fan of professional wrestling. Now, you guys think you're wrestling fans. Imagine for 1 second, if you had the opportunity to bring your love of professional wrestling out to the world and create an alternative, would you do it? This man right here busts his ass week in, week out to give not just you, but to give all the boys in the back an opportunity to show the world how much we love professional wrestling.
Wow.
This shit is not ballet. Every time we get in this ring, we are risking our lives. Do people understand that? And we don't take that lightly. And what I damn sure don't take lightly is somebody coming in to my company, dropping trout and taking a dump. That shit ain't happening anymore. Because this is the place, and the only reason why it's here is because of Tony fucking Khan.
Tony fucking Khan. Holy shit, that was incredible. Oh my god, that was incredible. So, I'm sure Rome is finishing up watching that right now. 1 second here. Holy shit, that was awesome. MJF really does still love Tony Khan, even though that they we're at odds for a little bit there. I'm glad he mentioned it, and we can almost, as sure as day, say that is squashed. That was awesome.
Fucking love this place, man. I really do. I don't like that encapsulates so much about what I love about All Elite Wrestling. And it's just what I love about MJF too, and just what I love about Tony Khan, and just how much I appreciate all three of those entities. Man, that's just fucking cool. And just I just love the passion there, and it's just you just feel it, man. You just feel it. How can you sit here week in and week out and take shots at AEW and shit on AEW and just overall non-enjoy AEW? Like, I don't know what the fuck else to tell you. Like, you just don't love pro wrestling. You just don't. Like, just say you don't. Like, it's fine. Just like, it's just not for you. You just like WWE, and you just like that stuff. You like Logan Paul saying that he should wrestle John Cena at WrestleMania. You think that that's great, sure. Okay. Sure. Go ahead. You can have that.
Dude, that was incredible, man. I got the biggest smile on my face right now. MJF, man.
I'm trying not to
I know I said Bandito is like my favorite wrestler right now. That's like, favorite like wrestler. It's like the flavor of the month type thing. MJF is like legit right now my number one favorite wrestler in the world at the moment. This dude is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to get emotional about it too. I mean, that's just a really good thing to say. It's not even a promo. It's just being realistic and being honest. I'm probably gonna go back and watch it again because I couldn't fully hear it because I was listening to it.
Did you notice how jacked MJF looks right now?
I mean, he's been jacked since he came back. He took the summer off, but he wasn't doing nothing over the summer.
Yeah, this was whatever his outfit or whatever he was wearing just really accentuated. His upper body is getting big, and in the next year or two, man, this dude is gonna be. I mean, he already is. He's as over as you can get right now, but this is gonna be an incredible run coming up, man. I think we're about to witness firsthand the beginning of a history-making run.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't say it enough. I think this Saturday is going to be truly special, truly historic for many reasons. And yeah, I can't believe that we're going to be there live for this.
Right? It's going to be great. All right, so that's it for the AEW Dynamite review. The go-home show for Full Gear this Saturday. Excellent episode of the AEW Dynamite here. What do we have going on for AEW Rampage, sir?
So this Friday for Rampage, we're going to have the FTW Championship will be on the line. Hook is going to defend his title against Lee Moriarty. We also have Athena versus Madison Rayne. The World Title Eliminator Tournament match, Lance Archer versus Ricky Starks. And we also have Eddie Kingston and Ortiz versus Jun Akiyama and Konosuke Takeshita.
Oh,
match that was announced over a week ago.
Thanks for pointing that out again.
No.
All right, and do you have the full card for Full Gear?
Well, I feel like they're probably going to make some additions on Friday, and we'll do our preview show on Friday after Rampage, of course. But what I have right now that I can tell you is we have the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Jon Moxley versus MJF. We have the AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory. We have the AEW Interim Women's World Championship, Toni Storm defending against Jamie Hayter. We have a four-way dance for the Ring of Honor World Championship, Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara. We have the TBS Championship on the line, Jade Cargill versus TBS Champion Jade Cargill versus TBS Champion Nyla Rose. We have Sting and Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Saraya. We have a three-way dance announced and confirmed for Saturday. The TNT Championship, Samoa Joe, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs. A three-way dance. Steel cage match, Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. and also made official tonight for the AEW World Trios Championships. Death Triangle versus the Elite.
Yes. Can't wait. That's going to be an amazing show.
Yep, I would expect a little bit more to be added on Friday. Obviously, we're going to get the 0 hour card added on Friday. We're also going to, obviously that match with Ethan Page versus the finalist on that side of the bracket will be on the show as well. It seems like Ricky's going to wrestle twice on Saturday. That's what they must be doing, because they already have 4 matches announced for Rampage, so I don't see them. It's an hour long Rampage, and I don't think Hook versus Lee Moriarty is a squash match. I don't think the tag match with Akiyama and Takeshita is a squash. I don't think Lance Archer or Ricky Starks is a squash. Athena versus Madison Rayne could be a squash, but there's no way they're doing 5 matches in an hour. I just can't see that happening.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to add for tonight?
Well, I wanted to do a quick little cheap plug. Thank you to everybody watching us right now. Please check out The Game Room. It's a new gaming podcast here on the Broken Tables podcast YouTube channel. We did our first episode last Saturday. Gonna do a quick little sneak peek of what I'm working on for the next show for Monday. So we got the Game Awards, the yearly award ceremony for video games. The nominees were announced. We're going to be going over those on Monday and giving our picks. And then Jeff, you can also partake in this because you're currently playing Warzone 2. Our topic for the show will be a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 / Warzone 2.0 review. So,
Yes.
play it over the weekend when you have time. I know obviously Saturday we're going to be in Jersey. But try to get some hours in, because I'm going to have a review ready to go for Monday.
Excellent. And speaking of which, after the show tonight, I will be over live on my Twitch channel. You can find the link down below in the description for the Twitch channel there. But it is twitch.tv/Jeffrey Vegas. I will be playing a few games of Warzone 2, probably till like 2 in the morning here. So you guys are welcome to join me over there. You are actually welcome to join me in the game as well. So
You know what, Jeff?
I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely excited for episode 2 of the game room. I've done a lot of upgrades to the pod for that one, so that's going to be an exciting one for me as well.
Yeah, so look forward to that. Really loving that we're doing that now. And yeah, it's going to be a fun show on Monday.
All right, man. Well, I think that's going to do it for tonight, everybody. If you are still here with us, watch all the way to the very end. I added something at the end of the podcast I want you guys to see. So if without further ado, Rome, you want to close us out?
Sure. Well, this has been episode 90 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe, or a follow, depending on where you find us. Thank you to everyone who hung out with us live here tonight. Thank you to everyone thank you, Meduja. Have a great night, man. Thank you to everyone who's listening to us in the future, like the coach on the West Coast, living that Cali life. Thank you to everyone else who's listening to us after we are live. You should really come hang out with us live. Thank you to everyone else on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us at our social medias in the description below. Once again, just a reminder, because I'm going to keep plugging it because I'm really, really proud of it. Game Room, new gaming podcast, next week on Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe is the time that Jeff has set for us.
Yes.
We will be live going over the gaming news, the gaming awards, talking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0. What do I think about it? You're going to have to tune in to find out. I hated Warzone 1, so how do I feel about Warzone 2? Well, we'll see. I already have an opinion, but I'm not going to tell you because you're going to have to tune in. But other than that, we go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and even pay-per-views. Our Full Gear post-show, Jeff, I'm thinking Sunday night. What are you thinking about? How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with that. Doing something Saturday night seems like it would be extremely difficult for us.
Yeah.
Sunday does sound perfect.
Yeah, I think Sunday night works because we can sleep in Sunday morning, because obviously we have to drive home from Jersey after the show, have a 2-hour ride, probably not getting home till 3 in the morning. Eagles play at 1 o'clock. So let's shoot for Sunday night. We'll figure out a time at some point this weekend and let everybody know. But Friday will be our prediction show.
Yes.
But until then, see everybody Friday.
Right on. All right. And then in about 10 minutes, guys, live on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Jeffrey Vegas. Till then, top guys out.